Well, alrighty. This should be coming live now. So my question is, when am I going to see it on my other device that I'm looking at on the Dodgergame channel? Am I going to get a notification that says I've gone live here? Well, maybe I'm subscribed to the Dodgergame channel, aren't I? In Mormon Truth. Maybe I'm not even a subscriber to myself. Maybe that's the problem. I'm going to subscribe right in my own channel. Let's see if that helps. Great. Okay. So is it going to tell me I got something going on here? Well, anyway, I don't want to. All right. Live streaming. Start stream. No, oh no, that was me. Oh God, this is complicated. I guess I'm just going to trust that I'm on. And I'll say what time it is right now. Okay, I got 12:55, so maybe somebody can comment and tell me if I actually was on at 12:55, since I don't see my own video I'm not seeing a notification to myself that I am going live. And here's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to do two of these today. I'm going to do two live broadcasts. Dodgergame is live. Great. That's on my phone. So shouldn't it be on this little whatever pad? Yeah. So, all right. What I'm going to do in the first broadcast is I'm going to discuss some really, I think, interesting and important things that I am doing so far as, the Dodgergame channel, Mormon Truth videos, Gospel Topics Hub, and me personally, which kind of interfaces with a couple of the comments here. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to do a separate broadcast, which is going to be dealing with some new pages I've put up on Mormon Truth Videos Gospel Topics Hub. It's at .weebly.com still. Probably .com that or something pretty soon. And get into the content of that, and it's going to relate. It's going to be on a particular subject, especially on the one I just did today, which is going to involve the video itself is going to be content for that. Okay, so I'm going to get into that, which is going to have to deal with the secret combinations business and how that really interfaces with a lot of other things that I talk about in these videos and on the website, how they actually are interrelated, especially with the mind control that's exercised within the church and in addition to within the church. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So anyway, I'm looking at the website here on the home page, and I've been working on this thing, and I think it's really a good thing. It may not be the best, it may not be perfect, but we've got a lot of topics that I've already got up here, and it's bringing together chapters where applicable videos to these chapters are being, made available, so that they're categorized, and you've got the written word regarding them. Here's one that I did yesterday, LDS apologetics. We believe in being honest, as in, the article of faith, except about our church history. So that's another new one that I just did, and these other ones looks like I accidentally shrunk them, so I'll fix that. And so many, I can't even see what I'm talking about, so I'm gonna have to fix that for the next video. And I got a comments section here now, and we've got a comment, and it is from me starting it off. So this gives us a centralized location on the website to do some discussing and commenting about the material that I present, rather than you put it on this video or that video, and sure, I'll see it because I'm using the YouTube creators software, but for everybody else, if I got 300 videos, or about 300 videos on Dodgergame channel, just shy of that, and I don't know, 60 or 80 or something on Mormon Truth. I mean, unless you're on that particular video, unless you've commented, and maybe even only if you've commented in that particular thread, are you going to see someone else's comments and discussion. So I think this website, I'm trying to create a hub. That's why it says hub. It's a hub for various reasons, and so one of the new pages is actually a couple of the new pages are communication hubs, really. So if we look down in here, yeah, what I got? Mormon Truth Happenings Hub, Mormon Truth Video Comments. So Mormon Truth Communication Hub. So that's basically the idea with those, is to create some ability for not only for centralized discussion, and also for something being housed in more than just a video that's discussing happenings. In other words, stuff that I am trying to accomplish through what I've been doing with the with the videos and now the web page, to bring together these resources that I've been basically creating like a madman for the last year, since New Year's of 2017. I do have some comments asking, like, how the hell do you do this? It looks like it takes a lot of time, and yeah, it takes a lot of time. Some of the videos have taken so many hours. I would say probably maybe in excess of 100 hours on one video series of 3 videos, probably, that I did, because it had a tremendous amount of editing involved, and I had some technical issues, some real setbacks. But there's a lot that goes into integrating photographs into these, fading them in, fading them out. It could be pictures like the ones you're looking at right now, or it could be photographs of scripture that is documenting something that I'm discussing in the video at that time. So some of it takes a heck of a lot of time. So anyway, this one, I want to go through a couple comments there, and I've got a really, really important announcement here on something I'm doing, and gives you the opportunity to do something to help unveil, unmask, what the church really is about, and the truth of LDS history, changing doctrine, etc., and mind control. I mean, isn't that what the Dodgergame channel is really about? Isn't that what Mormon Truth Videos channels are about? Isn't that what this website's about? It's about doing something. And so I have been doing things in addition to creating the videos. If you've noticed that I have had less videos out lately, it's not because I'm twiddling my thumbs. There's a lot going on. So listen, I'm going to just introduce that thought by looking at a couple questions, and then I'm going to basically tell a little bit of a story involving what I'm up to, and introduce a huge resource. I hope that's not too much, but I think a lot of people that watch my stuff here will be interested in all those, and maybe I'll do some other little shorties, probably on a particular activity that you can get involved with, because people have said, how can I help, or hey, we'd like to set up some kind of a funding thing for you, or why don't you beg for money like some of the other people do, or whatever, write a book, or sheesh, I can scarcely write. So a lot of this I think is a little better than some of the my if I say something on Facebook or Reddit. Actually, I haven't done anything on Reddit for a while. I was heavily criticized for the results of a lot of voice-to-text errors. In the middle of the night, you can only respond to so much, and then try to correct it. Here, I'm not having to deal with that. It takes some time, and I'm actually doing some of it on a laptop, which is much nicer. Okay, so that was a streaming interruption. So that was like my old phone or something. Dependent completely on Wi-Fi. So here maybe I'll have a little signal to go along with that. So I'm just going to continue where I was. So I'm going to go into YouTube Creator Studio just briefly here. Say just briefly. You never know with me if it's going to be brief, do you? And so let's jump into the comments here section. Usually don't do it on this. Here we go. Comments. Do I do view more? Yeah, view more. Okay. Had a lot of comments lately, by the way. So, oh, is it easier to just do it on here? Yeah. So, wanted to go down here, and please don't feel neglected if I don't get into your comment. I'm not doing a whole bunch of comments on this one, by the way. I just wanted to take a look at a couple things that were said by a particular individual that was kind of new to coming over here recently, and because this individual brought up certain things that I wanted to discuss right now, actually. Yeah, there's a lot of people I actually wanted to kind of respond to, or a few people I wanted to respond to in video format. As you probably know, I do a lot of responding in the comment sections and screw up a lot with voice to text. Okay, yeah, so this person right here with the R. Rui Belo. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. So this last one says, "Hi Dodger, hoping to get you in person someday. I'm now finally getting around to," and what we're going to see is that this comment's been deleted. See, this comment no longer available. And that particular comment was like, the person, Rui Bello, discussed some things that, just like, hey, what's happening with you? I read that you said you were like living out of your car and stuff like that. I hope that's not embarrassing to you. Maybe I should, is that okay that I mention it here? You already mentioned it. And maybe that's why they deleted it. He or she deleted it because just trying to be, super considerate. So, I really think I am going to talk a little bit about, some stuff that's my personal scene, because that does go into, it's closely related. Everything is part of one great whole. It can all be circumscribed into one great whole. Yeah. The black hole of my life. It's all interrelated. So this seems to be, I believe this is the first post right here by Rui Bello, and this may be a little bit self-promotional for me to even read, just because there are some compliments, but there's also the process of, first I thought you might have been a little more obnoxious than maybe I think now. So at any rate, here we go. Your videos were a bit of an acquired taste for me, long story, and initially I almost misjudged you on style. I like the scholarly and balanced approach. Balanced, or at least seemingly balanced. Helpful and informative content, as opposed to the axe to grind attack style. I also like videos that get to the point and deliver message as effectively and efficiently as possible, which is kind of hypocritical here since I myself am super long-winded at times. Like now. In my first viewing of your videos, I wasn't sure what category to put them in. And to be completely honest, at times I thought some of them were perhaps a little slow and not entirely focused. But then I soon realized that there was much more to them than I initially gave you credit for. It became apparent that you had done some real homework and preparation and had intelligent content to deliver, perhaps a little hidden initially by a style that I needed to adjust to. Now that I've made myself sound like a judgmental beep, I'll just move on. Bottom line is, now I've become a Dodger believer, a Dodger fan. Well, I was a Dodger fan since I was about 7 years old, but that was the LA Dodgers. which is kind of why I called this the Dodgergame channel. So, on a quick note, I'm of the opinion that if you're talking doubting, struggling Mormons, you need to be coming across in a way that doesn't sound like so many typical anti-Mormons who make Mormons believe that all antis are hateful, ignorant, and arrogant idiots. I hate to say names like, anyway. Guy who made the God Makers. Not that it was all wrong. Not that I don't even think I've seen that whole thing. But, and of course I know the guy's name. And can't think of it at this moment. So, at any rate, we see a lot of parroting things from people that really don't have a great deal of understanding about Mormonism, and a lot of mischaracterization of members of the church, because most members of the church, we can't characterize everyone as really nice, great people, but there really are a lot of nice people in the church, really well-intentioned people, very, very sincere people, and I was definitely one of those, although, a lot of them are probably more polished than I tend to be. I have some rough edges, you might say. So, Real Bello says, I myself believe deeply in God and follow Jesus Christ. Parentheses, I'm hardwired, but I'm perfectly relaxed listening to Christopher Hitchens, Sam Harris, or I think that's a Mormon dude. Is he a Denver snuffer guy? I don't know. Or Richard Dawkins. Richard Dawkins, that's about as anti-religion as you can get, isn't it? In fact, I'm a fan of these guys. I've come to realize that other people of faith, however, are not so relaxed and open to thought/belief challenges. And then goes on to talk about, my invitation to Hallie Everts to have a little discussion, because I'm not antagonistic towards Hallie Everts, but I am a threat to some of her beliefs. Or in other words, I have knowledge that would threaten her beliefs. And like I would say to anyone, if you have to protect your belief system from factual evidence, what does that say about your beliefs? It says cult mind control is probably being exercised upon you to influence you to stay away from factual evidence that would tend to contradict what you're being told in that organization. So I appreciate the fact that Rui Bello is willing to exchange thoughts and ideas with others that don't necessarily have the same beliefs or belief system, and do that, with respect for other people's humanity, with respect for people who don't believe necessarily the same things that you believe, but probably have good intentions. The Book of Mormon just basically is so much brainwashing, so much mind control, so well done in that particular respect. I'll just bring this up right now. It says everyone that doesn't, in the Book of Mormon, everybody that quit going to the Church of God did so because they wanted to sin. They wanted to be wicked. They were lifted up in pride of their hearts, and they're all just evildoers. And, good portion, they either turn into Lamanites or Amalekites or Gadianton robbers. They were all bad people because they left the Church of God. They had truth given to them, and they rejected it with their eyes wide open, and they're basically sons of perdition then. Yeah, that's the way they're characterized. And we are also told that all things that cause you to believe in Christ come from God, and all things that cause you to not believe in Christ come from the devil. We are told that people who leave the church are all about rebelling against good things. In other words, they are left to kick against the pricks, to persecute the saints and to fight against God. And that's such wonderful mind control, because what that tells you is that if someone doesn't buy the story that your leaders are pitching to you, then they're not only in conflict with the leaders, but they are automatically in conflict with you. They are out to persecute you. And when it says to fight against God, God's supposed to represent everything that is good, as long as you haven't read the Old Testament. And therefore, you are fighting against all that is good. So the power of association is very powerful, and it's used very well in the Book of Mormon. Used very well in the Book of Mormon to categorize people as in line with the ultimate force of evil, Satan, as defined by Christianity, if they are not falling in line with the leader of the LDS church, or the ancient, alleged ancient church within the Book of Mormon, which was called the Church of God. And then, of course, eventually the people in the story were called Christians, because they followed Jesus Christ before he even existed in the New Testament story. So, anyway, Rui Bella's not falling into that trap, and has noticed probably that, not everybody that doesn't believe the same as, it would be nice if I knew if I was talking he or she here, and it may have been mentioned, but I haven't memorized every sentence from every comment. His or her beliefs doesn't have to be an evil person, but if you are LDS, that is what is taught in the Book of Mormon. That's what's taught in 1 Nephi chapter 13, when the great and abominable church of the devil, in chapter 14, when it says that all other churches are basically appendages to that great and abominable church of the devil. So basically, they're all about dragging you down to hell. People are basically, if they're in another religion other than Mormonism, they are working for Satan to drag you down to hell. That's not the kind of rhetoric you generally hear now out of the general authorities, but, the unchanging God just keeps changing. Because what we find in the scriptures is actually that. If we read the Book of Mormon, as I pointed out to people at various times, including very recently to someone that I love very much, that the Book of Mormon says if you don't believe, if you don't follow the one who's supposed to be God's one true prophet, you're going to go to hell. Doesn't matter if you're Presbyterian, Methodist, whatever you are, if you follow anyone else, you're going to hell. And it says the same thing in the Doctrine and Covenants. It just doesn't say you're going to hell forever in the Doctrine and Covenants. No, you've got the get out of, spiritual jail after the millennium's over card in section 76, which is kind of hinted at in section 19. So you're still going to hell if you go to the other church, a church maybe named after John the Baptist. It says there are some of John and some of Christ, some of Apollo, some of Cephas, some of Christ that are going to hell because they follow Christ not well enough, because they're in a church that might be called something else, like the Church of Christ, even though Joseph Smith named his first church the Church of Christ. His first name for the church was the Church of Christ. But now, if you're in the wrong Church of Christ, section 76 says you're going to go to hell. But don't worry, you'll get out and go to the celestial kingdom with all those other murderers and adulterers and whoremongers and robbers and Gadiantons and everything else that you can do horribly to treat people and to violate every potential commandment from the Israelite God. That's where people from other religions go. So we still do get that kind of rhetoric versus people who have left the church. We need to disassociate from them, separate ourselves from them, and reconnect with the Holy Spirit, because they're serving Satan. I am apparently, according to the general authorities, therefore serving Satan. Even if anything or everything I say is true, I'm serving the devil, because I'm taking you away from the one true brand of religion. And brand identity is the most important thing within Mormonism, and I believe within Christianity at large. It's brand identity. It's not how much good you do for anybody in the world. It's how loyal you are to the organization that wants you to pay tithing to support their leaders. Sorry, folks, that's just the truth of the matter. So anyway, I got this comment, and some of it also was about, or a couple comments from the same person, and saying things like, how do you find the time, and that sort of a thing. And the truth of the matter is, I essentially died 4.5 years ago, close to that. I basically said I died. I hibernated for 4 years. Everything that was important, every hope that I had was destroyed when my family disappeared. And a year ago, I began doing the Dodgergame channel. I began creating the videos to have a resource that I thought was important in that venue, in video-based content, because not everybody's going to read, everything that's on various websites that I've read, for instance. Not that I've memorized it all, but we all know that there are websites that have a lot of content on them, and not everyone's going to have the attention span or know which websites to look at. Sure, there are certain ones that are particularly effective in notating arguments that are or concerns that challenge the assertion that an all-knowing, unchanging, and really super good guy, God, guides the LDS Church through the corporate executives who parade around as holy apostles. And so we know some of those websites. Mormon Think is probably preeminent, and we can tell that that must be what the Brethren think, since evidently they've blocked that on Wi-Fi at the chapels, I understand. Isn't that nice? But they haven't blocked mine yet, and besides, you can just use your data. It's a great use of data. So I have devoted a tremendous amount of time during this, during that year. I really started refocusing, I felt like I had put just about enough up in video form to handle almost any concern. If you can still believe the LDS Church is what they claim to be after watching the video content that I've created in 2017, then talk to. You need to hang out with Richard Holmes or something, or Paul Gregerson. So, sorry guys. I think you guys are just a little thick. Or nutty, depending on the case. And I don't like to be a name caller, but some people just frustrate me because they won't, go straight with issues. They'll just name call. Or they'll just be completely immune to anything that's factual. And we've got enough content. Now this organizes it on the Mormon Truth Videos Gospel Topics Hub. So that's kind of how I did that. I worked basically all night a lot of the time as well, getting very little sleep, 2 or 3 hours of sleep sometimes, in the process of creating all of these videos, because they do take an awful lot. Some of them take an awful lot of editing to put all the pictures and documentation in. Some of them I just rant like I'm doing right now, and those are a lot easier. And that's kind of what a lot of people will I don't know what everybody does. I know people like Flackerman obviously probably have a script and read it and edit in some. I'm sure that Flackerman does a lot of work on his videos. They're not usually super long, but he did a great job covering a lot of really important topics. Dan Vogel's done a tremendous amount of research as a Mormon historian and written books, and he probably scripts his stuff because it's just way too smooth to be going off the cuff like I generally do myself. But that's just me. So, this person here, Rui Bello, did like the style that these guys present because they do a very good job of scholarly presentation. I have to say they really do. And as far as the axe to grind thing, yeah, I've got an axe to grind. Not with members of the church in general. I've just had a lot of, really nice people that I've met in the church. So it's not that at all. But when I see the effect of Mormonism, because I'd say I'm anti-Mormonism, not anti-Mormon. I'm not against the people. That's a big mind control trick or lie. It's like George Bush saying, if you're not for us, you're against us. You're either with us or you're not with us. You're either with us or you're with the enemy. That's the same psychology that's used within the church, not just in the LDS church, but with the J-Dub, Scientology, etc., etc. It is mind control. And the more you know about mind control, the easier it is to see. And a lot of ex-Mormons now know a little bit about mind control and maybe think that they understand things a little more easily or a little more thoroughly than they do, and yet they're unfrozen and refrozen, as terminology would go within, understanding how mind control works, into another belief system and another system in which they are still being manipulated by those that are networked together with those that lead not just the LDS Church, but religions all over the world. But that's getting into the other broadcast that I'm about to do. So, anyway, I'm going to back up here. How do I do this? No, I don't want to talk about Richard Holmes. Thank goodness. Just there was one more, and well, I don't know. No, it's just more. It's just more stuff. So this person, Rui Bello, did say some nice things about, just thinking I was doing a good job, which is kind of nice to hear. And then discussing some personal stuff. So basically, because sometimes I say a little bit about what's up with me, and I've done some videos which talk about kind of my journey within Mormonism, but I stopped at a certain point, and I haven't really gone gone up until the current time within those, and there's just a lot of tremendously painful things that have a lot of tremendously painful experiences or days that I've lived in the last 1,550 some days, or 60 some maybe now. Tremendously painful beyond description, due to things that have happened in my life. So mid-November is when I began venturing out of a room. I was in terrible physical shape because I didn't even venture out of a small room, except for once every occasionally for relocating. So I've always been in good physical shape. I've been pretty athletic. I was super family oriented. I lived for the Kolabian dream, to bring my family, into a state of eternal bliss, for all eternity, happy family together forever, in the the doctrine that's taught within Mormonism. And I think I'd have to say I was pretty devout. There are things where I just didn't feel right about some things, that some obvious mind control stuff, where your behavior is being modified and you're losing your own personal identity to look like a Mormon robot representative. And there was always there were things there that I just didn't feel right about, and kind of the way I noticed in Hallie Everett's, when I see her talking about things that are that just bother her, but she likes to blame, she of necessity blames it on Mormon culture when she comes up with something, generally because if she attacks her leaders, then she has to attack her own belief system, and then it gets rough. It gets, that's when it starts to fall apart, when you get honest enough with yourself to realize these guys aren't what they say they are. They're not honest. They're not telling the truth. They contradict each other. They contradict their former, the former prophets and apostles, as they're called, and they contradict LDS scripture, and they've rewritten LDS history. So that's the waking up point. When at some point you look and you say, you know what? There is a problem here. There is inconsistency in what they are telling us is the case and what really is happening here and what they are doing and saying. So, what am I doing about it? Obviously, I've made all these videos, and I'm putting together the website, and the website is more and more getting to be, I'm getting more and more material on it, and I like being creative. I'm pretty stoked about it. And it's got my own personal flair on it, as we can see, and I'm just gonna probably, should I put that in the next video? And I started and I walked into testimony meeting, first time in 4.5 years, in a ward I've never been to, but there were people in that ward evidently that knew me. And I unloaded on the gospel topics essays, showed the people how to get to it, told them it was basically, obfuscated rather than advertised on the homepage for a reason, despite the fact that they say right in the preamble that they really want everybody to know all this stuff. They've done all this research just to make sure that you had all the right stuff to learn about, all the right Mormon history information and information on these subjects in those essays available at your fingertips, where it's dependable, reliable, accurate, and easy to find. And everything they said about that is an absolute lie. So I pointed out a little bit of that, and the kid that got up after me was a child of a guy I've considered to be a friend since I met him. Very nice guy, very active in the church. And I called a friend of mine about a week later that I hadn't talked to in 4.5 years or so, who's now a bishop. And I thought he might be getting off work right about then, but he wasn't off for a little while. And he did say, yeah, my kid goes to this ward, and he swears that you're the one, that you walked in there on Sunday and got up in testimony meeting. Is that true? And I said, yeah, it sure is. He didn't talk about the content of what I said. I don't know what his son said about what I said, but it was noteworthy enough that his son did mention it to him, and his son goes to a different ward, and this was not a young adult ward, so he's probably grown up and moved out on his own, as had the other one probably that got up after me and started in quickly, just insisting that we are led by a true prophet after what I had said. And of course, most of you know that is on the Dodgergame channel. I did try to put that on the Mormon Truth channel, and it got taken down. It was a little cleaner there, got rid of some of the background noise, and it got taken down. But I managed to get this one edited to, blur the dude's face out that followed me out of the church, which is, I believe, the reason why it got taken down, because he was identifiable. Not like nobody else does videos where people are identifiable. Look at Mark Dice, for goodness sakes. Some of these guys, David Barkowitz or whoever the heck he is, the guys that try to covertly interview Mormons, or even who's that other Christian dude, that does pretty good research. It's actually pretty factual. Does stuff on the 200-pound golden plates, or likes to go to the Manti thing. Yeah, anyway. So, I challenged other people to get up and do it. So, Fast and Testimony meeting is coming up. Is it what's today? The 23rd? That means, I don't know, I have to look at my calendar here. Is it next week? Is Sunday going to be Fast and Testimony week? Is it? Is it going to be? Here, I'm checking on my phone right now. My other device here. And I'm going to check calendar. And here it is. Calendar, February. Today's the 23rd. Sunday will be the 2nd. That will be fast and testimony meeting. So, I have said it and I'll say it again. I'm going to create a page. I'm going to call it the New Name Nephi page. Okay? New name Noah does this covert temple operations, secret hidden video stuff. And I've done at least one, YouTubed fast and testimony expose on what's actually happening within the church and what's really true and what's not. And I did not get shut down by the bishop. I managed to stay up until I was done. And who knows, will that happen again this week with me? I don't know. We'll see. The location I intend to do it at next, I don't think I'll be at by Sunday. So, you people, create a YouTube channel. You don't have to do YouTubes every day or every week or every month, but all you got to do is create, a YouTube of your own fast and testimony experience. Go in there and lay it down, throw it down in front of the people, and we can put it up here we can put it on the website here. All I got to do is you tell me, you send me an email or a comment, and I can just hook it right in here. It'll be with mine on that page. And I want a page that's getting filled up with people. This is going to be our online testimony meeting page. Okay? We've all read the Jesus story, and all these false witnesses came up and testified against Jesus in the New Testament story. So that's like a kangaroo court. That's like getting excommunicated in the church, basically, right? Who gives a damn what you have to say or how true it is? You're out of here because you don't follow the brethren or whatever, right? And isn't that what fast and testimony normally is? If you went to court, what if they only accepted witnesses that were, for one side of the if they're only for the plaintiff or only for the defendant? You got to have both sides represented. But are both sides represented in testimony meeting? No, they want testimonies for and in behalf of, support of Jesus Christ and His one true church. Well, let's make these balanced. We actually will be fair and balanced here, because we're gonna do the other side of the story. Yeah, so there will be a page for that. So just because you put up a video that only 3 people might watch, maybe it'll go viral. Maybe it won't. A lot of people do videos and they don't get a lot of viewership. I didn't get a lot of viewership. I still don't have a lot, but I got a hell of a lot more than I did a year ago. But you don't have to build all that up. We'll stick it on the webpage, and this webpage is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. The website is, and I'm not an SEO expert, but I did used to do a little bit of that stuff for some of my own websites. I was beginning to work on trying to, I've always been an entrepreneur. And speaking of entrepreneur, let's get into, at the 34-minute mark, the next big strategy. Okay, and I put a little thing about this on a new channel I created for business. Because this is a business idea. It is a business thing. It is about marketing. But who says you have to only market businesses? Can't you be an anti-Mormonism marketer? Well, what am I talking about here? Like I said earlier, people have said, hey, Dodgergame, if you set up like a whatever donate thing, I'd do that. Or if you wrote a book, or if you did this or that, or I would like to create a, whatever bail you out page or something. I heard you're living in your car. I'm not today, but, that's the way it is sometimes. Or camping, or, I've had to spend the nights, recently. I spent nights, in the car, and it can get a little cold, and you have to have some strategic arrangements to take care of nature and so forth. But and people will tend to be hassled, persecuted, fined, for not having a place to live. So as I try to venture out of where I've been, had some challenges. So I said, look, I got to resurrect life here. I got to become, sufficient and successful, and who knows, maybe I can recover my family. Because some things have changed. So, I used to be an entrepreneur. Looks like I said I had an interruption there, but I think it's back. So I was looking for business that would allow me to, do the kinds of things that I'm good at. And I saw this product that could be, marketed as a business to other business owners to promote their businesses in a very effective way. And I said, wait a minute, this works in perfectly for what I'm trying to do in exposing members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to their true history. I mean, I've seen people say, why don't I just put a big CES letter thing up on the Highway 15 that's south of Salt Lake so people can see it. And they're going to say, what the hell is a CES letter? Right? I mean, unless they've already read it and then they know what it is. So then maybe they'll have a conversation with somebody that's in their car that says, hey, what's that thing? But how about a clickable link that comes onto your phone while you're in church, while you're at seminary, while you're at Mutual, while you're at Relief Society, while you're in priesthood, while you're picking your nose in the foyer, while you're nursing your child during sacrament in the mother's lounge, that says something about Mormonism that's of interest to you, something catchy. And what if it links directly to a web page, a website, a YouTube video, like you might find on the Mormon Truth Videos Gospel Topics Hub, for instance, or cesletter.com, or Mormon Think, or, whoever else, Zelf on the Shelf, whoever else, Thinker of Thoughts, Dan Bogle. But as the gospel is supposedly restored in the latter days, and it's supposed to be the dispensation of the fullness of times in which all things are gathered together in one in Christ. Is that not what it says? Gathering all the priesthood dispensations and stuff. Well, guess what? This website here not only has, topics and chapters and, all that. Not that I'm an organizational professional or anything, but I guess this created a completely new stream, didn't it? So, it doesn't have to just have my videos on it, does it? And so I've got a couple other folks' stuff, in here. Plus we got things written, and I'm trying to be coherent, and I think my writing style is pretty good, actually. Not that my grammar is perfect or punctuation or anything like that, but I'm a little bit witty sometimes. At least I like to think so, and some people might think so, and other people might think I'm just a jackass, but I think I bring up a lot of things in a way that hopefully is effective and interesting. And how would you like to have your child, let's say you're in a family relationship where your spouse is a believer and you're not, or whatever. So as a matter of compromise in the family, your poor 15-year-old's going to seminary. But they get on their phone, they got a cell phone, and it says, why did Joseph Smith impregnate their 16-year-old nanny? And that's just a notification right on the phone. A notification, like these notifications. And and I got one on my phone. This is the other device, and I haven't seen that on there. But due to this product, due to this company with this platform, I can change messages in real time on as many of these devices that I'm paying a monthly fee on, and I can put them wherever the hell I can get them to, and where they can safely be located, or they can travel with me, or, you know, the possibilities are endless. Or they could go where you put them if you find this product is something that you're interested in using for revealing what Mormonism is all about, forwarding your business prospects if you're an entrepreneur, if you have any type of business. So, yeah, so bottom line, let's take a quick peek at what this is, because this is just amazing. Well, that's not what I wanted to go to. I'm going to go right over here to... oh, come on. Was I on my other device? No, it's on Puffin. Okay, so Puffin is a browser. Let's go in here. I'm just going to show you this thing here. So, no, I pressed the wrong thing. Okay, I'm trying to hit this button right here. And, all right. For crying out loud. Wasn't I looking at this stuff? Just, okay. No need to get suicidal here. I just did this, and I swear it was on this device. Maybe it was on my phone. In this. Alright, I can't pause it. So, I'm pissed now. I swear I had it on here. Okay, hang on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go create a new page then here. Let's just do it from scratch. Okay, new tab. So I've got my own gig here with my own little... Oh, it should be in here too, no? Anyway, direct marketing. It's got some MLM action if you're into that, but it's just it's a tremendous innovation for business. And bottom line is, you get this device within 400 meters of an LDS chapel, for instance, or temple, then everybody around there's that's got, you know, maybe a smartphone. It's got their, you know, Bluetooth enabled and stuff. Google proximity marketing, Google nearby strategies, or even Samsung is going to hit them with it's going to go out and grab that message that you've got that's being broadcast from this device. And it's just nuts, because you can have people sitting there in the chapel or in their seminary. I'm a little too ADD to actually talk and do this at the same time. Okay, new tab. Actually, I already did new tab. And it's going to go to whatever you send it to. So I'm, of course, recommending my own page here, but I mean, you can do CS letter, you can do whatever. But I'm trying to create the most effective resource in the world. You know, because we got the video stuff and the written stuff, and I'll have some other people's stuff brought together to where we've got tremendous resource. God, can I actually do anything correctly here? Alright, let's reveal login. Great. Okay, so this little... God. Okay. I'm not suicidal, I swear to God. But I don't believe in God anymore. Let's go over here. Okay, so mine here would just be a Serbia.com/Dodgers in 88. That'd be my gig here for this like deal. Okay, so this little device here, it's less than 2 inches, puts out, it's beaming out. It's not spamming, because Google has to actually go out and grab the message. And people obviously are going to advertise their businesses. Everybody within 400 meters, 4 football fields of their business, or just maybe slightly less, depending on, too many buildings in the way, slowing down the signal or something, are going to get their marketing, go straight to their webpage, go straight to their commercials, their offers. It says, hey, get a sandwich at half price right now at Lupe's Taco Shop or whatever. I suppose I should have said a taco if it was a taco shop. But going from this device, hitting your cell phone with a with a notification, with something enticing to get you to click, okay? You can create any kind of commercial and send it to your website, whatever link you want to, and you can send it to the Dodgergame channel. You can send it directly to a video, if you actually with the enhanced service, directly to a video. But you can send it right to the web page we're looking at, my web page, or any of these, while people are in church, while seminary students are bored out of their minds. And so, you driving your kids to seminary, you just want to pay a visit to the chapel. You live near the chapel. You have a friend near the chapel. You want to stash one near the chapel or the temple. People are going to be, imagine one near the temple. Think of a temple near you, Provo Temple, San Diego Temple, Pleasant Grove. What do they call that? Mount Timpanogos Temple. I mean, can you imagine the messages you can put on there to entice people to immediately come to some video that just starts playing, like the first vision, I mean, something on this website here that I've created. I'll go straight into a video, or just straight to the website with it, with a cheaper service. Just go straight to the website or something, and have or create your own stuff. My gosh! So people talk about, hey, they want to support, an activity or something. You want to support something I'm doing. I'm not asking for donations, but if you wanted to go in with some people or do it yourself, and you're an entrepreneur and you use a couple of these for your business, and then devote one of them some of the time even for, the church, like every morning when you went to seminary or something, change your message. You can just change the message. You take off your business message and put on, link to one of these. Link to the Mormon Truth Videos Gospel Topics Hub. And every time you go to church, you are contributing to the awakening of people. And yeah, it does cost money because it's a business service. So I'm doing it as a business. I'll put my link in there. If you basically get involved with this, in relation to me or because of me, I got like an affiliate link. It combines a lot of cool things, actually. Affiliate marketing from the internet to network marketing to direct, sales marketing, like I've done with, cellular companies and stuff. You got to, or you can do that with, merchant banking or all kinds of things where you've got a residual income coming in. And there are business, I'm not going to say that word that they cause a problem with. And you can, so I'm going to do this for business purposes, but maybe this will actually bring some remuneration, some financial, reinforcement to my existence to help me survive. If people are wanting to find a way to unveil Mormonism, this is a fantastic tool. And I'm coupling it, like I said, you can link to my stuff, you can link to other people's stuff that works. And if you're doing the business service through me, I'm going to make money, which, that's instead of, saying, hey, donate to the Mormon Truth Videos channel, blah, 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 like some other people do. And I'm not saying that they're doing a bad thing. I mean, what Dylan pays himself $70,000 a year or something out of his foundation that his 501c3 he's created, doing Mormon stories, because he's doing a valuable service, and I'm doing a valuable service. But I'm just saying, hey, this is a way that you can do something that's you're participating in. Wouldn't you be stoked to just be bringing that thing, having that in your car when you go to church, and then just looking at people and seeing them click on stuff when you're in sacrament meeting, or have somebody bring this up and priest it and go, what the hell is this on my phone? My God, I was reading this and I've never heard of these gospel topics essays, and this video is pointing out that, they're filled with contradictions. Anyway, if you're a creative person like me possibly, and the entrepreneurial type, or just any kind of creative person, you're a person of action, you want to do something, this is a great opportunity. It's an incredible tool. Just think of all those people, they're like a captive audience. They're right there, and it's proximity marketing. So everybody within 400 meters of where you are that's got a smartphone, is susceptible to be getting these notifications. If their Bluetooth's on, it's going to happen, supposedly, unless Google algorithms makes some difficulty, which I just got my little things in, and sometimes I see the notifications and I don't. And do I have one here? Nope, that isn't. But I had one a little while ago on here, and I clicked on it and went right to my website. And I clicked on it, and I go right to my videos, where I programmed the things to do that. Like I said, you can change it online. You can do it to your business. You can, take you about, once you've created the what you call ads, on your platform, you can just switch. Take you about 10 seconds. Just go switch. So from your business one or multiple business ones that you're doing, split testing for effectiveness for your pizza parlor or your tire shop, or I don't know what business you might have, or flip it over to Mormonism, flip it over to this stuff. Especially, like I said, 6 in the morning, you head over to the church. Just you're sitting in your car waiting for your child to be programmed because your spouse is into that, and you don't want to have a fight at home, or whatever you do, and there you go. You're hitting all the kids in seminary with their cell phones that have got. A number of them are probably getting notifications, and somebody's going to click. So it's a massive opportunity. The temples, my gosh, just think of what can be done. Well, what if you live in Payson, Utah or something? Every neighbor you've got, you just do it from your house. You don't even have to go anywhere. Or, whatever, Nephi or Heber or all these little, 90% Mormon cities. Good Lord. It's just a tremendous opportunity. So, anyway, I just put that brainstorming. I was excited when I read this. I thought, oh my gosh, I can actually incorporate everything I'm trying to do. Like I said, at the temple, the lecture at the veil, all truth is circumscribed into one great whole. Well, in other words, I can incorporate what I'm trying to do now to resurrect my life financially, so I can be empowered to do various things. Obviously, the most important would be if I could recover my family, and link that in with my goal to unveil Mormonism and free the people, free the world of its fear and pain, and help the people to feel free again. Lyrics from a song called "The Wizard" by Uriah Heep. Yeah, I think we can trace that back to the 70s. No, I was not doing hits of acid before I started this session, and I'll take a little break, and then I'll do the one I'm going to get into, some of the new, and especially the video that's going to be, having to do with today's new web page on the website. So I'm trying to do my part. I'm inviting you people to do your part, whatever part you feel that is, whatever you feel inspired to do, whether it's get up and testimony meeting, and you might need to eat some avocados or something, and do anything you can to enhance your testosterone levels if you're a guy. I don't know. Some people are braver than others. Some people are more traumatized than others. I was nervous before I did it. I screwed up. I didn't even have it going live, but somehow I got regular Mobizen going, and I got to upload it afterwards. So give it your best shot. You want to do that? You want to help spread this other stuff and enhance your business, or create a new business for yourself, and use some of those, little beacons, and the platform to enhance your business, and some of them, or at some time for exposing Mormonism, then just get creative. And so I'll throw a link in the video after it's up and all that sort of thing. I've created another channel like yesterday or something. I gave it a Spanish speaking name, which is appropriate for a lot of areas in Southern California. and elsewhere. And it's got a great acronym. It's called Amigos de los Empresarios. Amigos de los Empresarios. So amigos would be an acronym, basically. Was it Servio Marketing Innovations Go Services? The little disc is called a Go thing. And empresarios, of course, are business owners and entrepreneurs. So friends of business owners, friends of entrepreneurs, creates a great opportunity for much more cost-effective marketing for small businesses. And I'm all for small business. I'm all against Walmart, and that sort of thing, turning every town and city into a corporate clone center. That's one of the things I liked about Latin America. It was less taken over, but that's changing, unfortunately. The corporatocracy is spreading and putting more and more people out of business. So enough of that. Empowering the little person, empowering human beings over huge corporations. LDSness is just a microcosm of that entire thing, and that's what the next video is about. So, hasta luego, mis amigos. Dodgergame out.